Oh, caught me drinking. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to DWIT, hanging out and chilling and doing it with DWIT on Sunday night. Hey, welcome. Brandon Wilson, Non-Fan, Printer Prawn, and Rex Waldy. Hello. You're the guys that have mentioned or spoken up in chat. I see there's 9 people watching, 1 on the Twitches and 8 on the YouTubes. So, Sunday night, welcome. Truth be told, I've really got no specific plan for tonight. I know I said that last week, and I'm sure that everybody on here watching saw what happened. Oh, Mac CJ 12345, first time here. Well, welcome. Thank you so much, Mac. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down here on YouTube. It's you're on YouTube. Yes, it's free to subscribe, and I try to get on every Sunday night and do something. I used to do builds. I'm doing mods. I may tear apart this little printer here because I want to work on this one. But you just never know what I'm going to do on a Sunday night. You never know if I'm going to hurt myself, cut myself. People tend to like the drama that I cause. So like last week, as most of you know, we had that little near incident with the little toy printer, little kids friendly printer. Hey, Mark, how are you? Oh, perfect. Thanks so much, Mac CJ. I'm just going to call you Mac. I'm not going to say the whole name. I'll just call you Mac. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, we had that little incident with that little printer almost catching fire. It was funny. Well, it wasn't funny, but it was interesting. Could have been a lot worse. Then you had a printer and decided to play Mission Impossible. Yeah, I know. No kidding. No Mission Impossible today. So you smell burnt toast. No, the smell has finally gone out of the basement, so we're all good. That was, I'm not finished with that yet. I want to contact, I need to find out who manufactured that printer, and I need to get them that video. That's not an easy thing to do, though, because that printer is no longer available anywhere. And so, yeah, and no wonder it's not. But that said, hey, Mike, never let the machines win. And Ben, hello. I didn't say hello to you guys yet. I know you're on there. Yeah, you're having a stroke if you smell burnt toast. There you go. That's what I hear anyways. So I've been working on a couple things this week, and I'll share them with you a little bit here. I posted on the Creality group. You guys have, some of you have seen it, some of you haven't, and I don't have the model here. It's either in my car or at my office. Hey, Gary T. I printed the big model that Chris, today's 3D print, or Chris, or Neary's as we all know him as, he modeled this big hot end for a teaching tool, basically. I printed that. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Had a big dinner tonight. So I printed that big hot end as a model, and I posted it up. Hey, SI 3D printing. Hey, Bear, another Canadian online. Hey, welcome. And I posted it on the Creality group, and it got a crap load of response. I think I'm up to over 400 views or 400 likes, whatever, and comments galore. Excuse me. And one of the comments was accurate. People are a little bit anal on this thing. You got to figure it's a visual training aid. It's not meant to be a functional part. So, yes, it's not 100% accurate as far as the way they're built, but it gives somebody an idea. Hey, Joe Velasco, toast. No, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm going to take apart another Ender 3 hot end here, so we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll turn it on and see if I can get it to fire up. No pun intended. But yeah, so everybody was kind of saying, it's not accurate, blah blah blah. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to make my own version. Because I'm number one. I enjoy using, everyone wants an instant expert on hot ends. Exactly. I love using Fusion 360, number one. I've done a few things on it. I've only been using it for a little over a year. Number two, I decided let's design my own. Let's take my own little hot end. So I've got this one, which is a Micro Swiss all metal. And I have the other one, again, I think it's in my car at my office. Hey, Llama. And I decided on Friday morning, of all things, just Friday past, let's go ahead and measure these up and design my own in Fusion 360, and let's make them as anatomically, and now I don't know if I can use the word anatomically correct for a hot end, but I'm going to, because it doesn't have an anatomy, but it does have a, I don't know what you call it, but I wanted to make it as correct as possible. So let me share a screen with you and show you what I did with these. So first of all, oh, wrong screen. There's a screen I wanted to share with you. So first of all, here is the Creality, standard Creality hot end that I whipped up in Fusion 360 by measuring the existing hot end that I had in my hand. So this is pretty accurate for the most part, right down to the little grub screw that holds this thing in. And then if you look at my side slice view here, boom. So we have the Bowden tube going down the middle. We have the coupler going into the heat sink, okay? And then we have coming out of the heat sink. Come on, turn for me. Don't do this to me. There we go. Coming out of the heat sink, we have the heat brake, okay? And the heat brake, as we know, screws into the block, and then the nozzle here itself screws into the block as well. So this is kind of, I did this on Friday in Fusion 360, okay? Let's bring it back together. So we have that one there, which is the Creality hot end. So that was, I had some help from a few folks in the community on a few commands in Fusion 360, because there was a few things I didn't know how to do, okay? But this is more of an anatomically correct. And now this one has a cutaway. So if I go and hide this body here, and if I go ahead and hide, where's the other body I need to hide? It's in the heater block. Let me find my heat block. I think my heat block is right up here. And if I hide this body here, so this is going to have a, oops, I got to hide it. So that's going to be the cutaway to show as a teaching tool here. And there's going to be no grub screw there, of course. But this will be able to show people how the Bowden tube comes through the coupler into the heat brake, okay? And the Bowden tube goes right down, and the Bowden tube will, in fact, touch the nozzle, okay? So this is a standard hot end, not an all-metal hot end. Now, and then there was somebody else on the, there was another person. Oops, I didn't mean to do this. Hang on, I got to do one thing. I got to put myself back on here, and I've got to add this to the stream. There we go. That way I'm still on here. Somebody in that same post, if you go look on the Creality, it does it. Hey, Duff 204, doing really good, thank you. The heat brake needs work below the heat sink. The heat brake needs work below the heat sink. Here, no, this is it. I can. Oh, I wish I had that one. This is exactly the same hot end that I had and I modeled from. It may not be 100% accurate. Let me get rid of that grub screw, because really you're not going to see the grub screw in there, right? So why is it still showing? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just showing probably the sketch. But anyways, then I had one person in that post I put in the comments saying all hot ends are all metal. They're all made of all metal. They say, I'm an engineer. I do this, this, and this, and this. And I can tell you for a fact that all hot ends are made of all metal. Okay, whatever. That's not the all metal hot end type we're talking about. So anyway, so then I went on and I designed the, this is the Micro Swiss all metal hot end. Okay. So this one, whoops, come on, mouse. Come on, turn. Yeah, so this is a representation, an accurate representation of this one that I have in my hand, right. Oops, I have to take this off the screen in order to do that. This is an accurate representation minus the sock of this. Okay, so each piece on this was measured up. And we'll bring this back in, rotating the block 90 degrees so that the hole for the heater shows. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, but that part is printed. It will be a printed part. It will be part of the model. Anyways, so this one here again, if we do a section analysis of this will show the user that you have a Bowden tube that comes into a coupler that's actually built into the heat sink, which is what the Micro Swisses do, and that's as far as your Bowden tube comes right there. Okay, and then from there on, it's just all filament down all the way into the heat brake. Okay, all the way down into the nozzle. Okay. And then, of course, we have the little grub screw there that holds in the heat break. And then, so the model split for this, if I go ahead and flip this on its side, zoom it out a little bit, and let's move it over this way a little bit, and then we'll zoom it in a bit. So the split for this is going to be, this part will come off to show the inside, and the, where's my heatsink here? Let me see my heatsink bodies. And if I take my heatsink body, this one, and hide it. So there's what it's going to look like on the inside. My mouse, there we go, as far as showing people how this is supposed to look. So of course there's no Bowden tube going down that path. Once you put the other half of the heatsink on, it's strictly a path for the filament. And that is the heat break right there. That's a duplicate of the heat break. And then the heat break butts up against the nozzle. So there we go. So that is what I spent some time on Friday doing. Friday, a few hours on Friday morning, and then Friday evening I finished up some of these things. So yeah, so that was this one. Thanks, Ben. Oh, thank you so much, Joe. The response to the kids printer, I've had over 2,000 views on YouTube and probably 50 or 60 comments. I haven't looked lately. So anyways, what I've been doing then is I printed. So I printed out, so far I've printed out these two pieces for the Creality generic hot end. So there's my heatsink printed out, and it turned out really, really good. This was done in the rat rig in a Jessie PLA blood red filament. So there's my insides. Okay, I've got half of the heat block printed out. Now I'm going to show you a mistake I made here, and that's okay. I always like to admit my mistake. So if we look at this heat block, you can see it's very obvious on this side here. When these magnets are pressure fit, didn't want to have to glue them, but when I pressure fit these magnets in, it cracked a little bit. What I need to do is go into my slicer, which was Bruce's slicer, and I need to make the fill around these magnet holes. I need to make it a solid fill on that layer where the magnets pressure fit in, so that I don't crack it. These two didn't crack, which I'm lucky they didn't, but these two did crack. So it's only a 15% infill. So I need to go in and I need to change it so it's solid layers. The top bunch of layers are solid where the magnets, or just in where the magnets are, make it solid so that it doesn't crack but it still works regardless. And then we can give you a close look at these things. I mean, these things printed beautifully. I mean, that's the bed texture from the rat rig. And I mean, this just printed, no cleanup necessary. That's exactly how it came out. And then again, these are all pressure fit magnets. I had to glue this one with this thumb. I had to glue this one in. For some reason, it didn't want to stay, but the rest of them are all just pressure fit. So they turned out great. So now, and then we have the nozzle. Just printed the nozzle on the Prusa, just a gold filament. So now this will, in fact, and I was concerned about the tolerances in the threads, okay? Because in Fusion 360, there's a few different ways you can do threads. But Fusion 360 is smart enough to know that when I told it this was an inside thread and this was an outside thread, it already gives you the tolerances. So if I screw this nozzle on, just got to get it straight, you'll see that it doesn't spin on like some of the samples you'll see, but it actually screws on nice and I took a few turns at it to get it loosened up a bit, but it actually screws on there nicely. And so there's the cutaway with the nozzle. How many cm is that nozzle as far as the opening? Yeah, I know it's a 5 times blow up, but the opening is actually more than 5 because I needed enough of a surface because it printed on the bed this way. So yeah, so there's the nozzle on there. Now this one here is there is the coupler. The threads are a little longer than a standard coupler. It's just the way it happened to work out on mine because I wanted to fit in here. So then the coupler, if we screw this in, the coupler actually, this one I had to do in and out a few times, but the coupler will actually screw in. I just keep going. Plastic on plastic, isn't that great? So the tolerances on these threads are pretty decent. There we go. So there's the coupler in place. Actually, I'll just loosen it up one notch. Fortunately, these parts are big enough. If these were smaller parts and the tolerance was that tight, that'd be cracking some pieces. But these are all 15% infill, and that screwed in really nice. And then when you put the other half of the heatsink on, there we have the heatsink with a coupler. And as a matter of fact, the heat brake just finished printing on the rat rig. So I was just printing the heat brake on the rat rig, and the other half of my block is on my FL Sun SR down at my office. It'll be finished by now. So the other half of this block is finished. So I just have to pop the magnets in. Let me go quickly grab the heat brake, which just literally finished printing. See if I can get it off the bed. Whoa, okay, I've got to flex this sucker. Okay, so I can show you here. There's we just finished printing this on the rat rig. And it's there we go. Let me put this bed aside to cool off. That is one big print bed. So this one, because there is a little bit of an innie here, I suppose, I did do a raft. So I can take the raft off. So there's the heat brake, and I got some hickeys around it, and that's something to do with my slicer settings. But that's my heat brake with a cutaway so that people can see, excuse me, so people can see the Bowden tube coming through the heat brake. So now, hot off the presses, exactly. So now let's have a peek in this, because this just came off. The heat brake is going to go in there. Oops, and that's a little, see that I left too much tolerance on that. But theoretically, when this is on here, okay, so the heat brake's going to come out, and I tried, there's a grub screw. I tried printing a grub screw, but I couldn't, the tolerance is too tight for a piece this small. Grub screw with a hex key, but of course you try and put it in with a hex key and it tears the crap out of the filament. So I'm going to probably end up putting a magnet in here so that when I push this in, boom, it's held in with a magnet. But let's see how well this actually, because I've got sort of a broken thread here, 20 millimeter orange filament to go in it. Orange filament, yes. The Bowden tube is going to be blue, but I want to see, there we go. There we go. So look at that. The heat brake is actually, whoops, because we're only using partial threads here, this is a little trickier, but the heat brake is going to screw into the heater block. And that should ideally, see, I'm getting a little tight. I don't want to break it. This is, ideally, I want this to go in right down. I can see it on the screen there. Let me loosen the nozzle off a bit, because we always back the nozzle off. We screw the heat brake in right about there. Okay, so there's the heat brake. Then we can tighten the nozzle right to there so that the heat brake and nozzle are touching. Now the Bowden tube will go inside, okay, to touch the nozzle, and then we hot tighten. So there we go. So this guy, if we pull this apart, will I have a piece of filament? If I can print a piece of filament, yes. So basically, there is our side view, which is more anatomically, I guess if you want to use it that word, more anatomically correct than the one that I printed from Chris. So this should appease the people that are saying, well, no, because the other one had the heat brake coming all the way over the nozzle, blah, blah, blah. But this is actually the way it works. I do want to figure this out. I might print this with less tolerance so that a friction fits in here. But as I say, once the whole model's together, with this piece, okay, and then the other half of this, that'll still be too loose. So I need to figure out a way, because realistically I can't put a plastic grub screw in here. So I may even change this so I can actually put a real grub screw in there to hold this in, but I'll figure that out. That's a whole other process. But then from this side, you're looking at a pretty much a complete hot end. So anyways, that is what I've been working on. I'm quite happy with the way it worked. I'm happy with the way my Fusion 360 skills have developed a little bit. Doing this was a great little project to learn a few little tips and tricks on that software. So that is that for now. I'll show this when I finish it. I'll show you guys when I finish this and I get actually all the rest of the pieces sort of finished and put together. And then I'm also going to print out the this one. But I've wanted to do this one first because now I know I have to fix a few tolerances. I have to, this gives me an idea. The heatsink itself is fine. This one's going to be fine other than, as I say, I got to figure out how I'm going to hold that in better. And that may just be with magnets by embedding a magnet on the side here and a magnet inside here so that when I pop it in, it actually has a magnetic force holding it in. So quite happy with that. I'm just sad the grub screw wouldn't work. That would have been so cool. Hey, Hutchmaker Space, how are you? Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Heater, cartridge, and thermistor. Joe, you're pushing your luck. But hey, maybe. It does have the openings for the thermistor, although that bottom hole, again, that's a little big. It's really tough to measure a thermistor opening on this with a caliper. So that's a little big. And the other half of the block has the heater cartridge opening for it with, as you'll see in my drawing, boom, if I bring you guys back to this, I bring back the other part of the heater block, boom, and if I hide this one, you'll see that I did design the heater block with that gap, with the 2 screws that go up to tighten the heater block in, okay? So that'll be the other half. So yeah, perhaps I can print, although will it have wires on it or won't it? I don't know. Anyways, and then you guys want me to also print filament, don't you? Print some filament that can go in there. Well, we'll see. I got to do the Bowden tube first. If I'm not mistaken, the length of the Bowden tube for this one, I have to use my rat rig because I want a Bowden tube that's going to go from here, and I want the Bowden tube to come out here. And it's about a 300 millimeter Bowden tube. It may work on my FL Sun. We'll see. But I'm definitely printing a blue Bowden tube. So that's where we'll go from there. 5 gold stars for my work. Well, I think depending. If this was a Fusion 360 class and I was being graded, I might get a A- or a B. Because as I say, there's a few things that weren't perfect. Some of the tolerances were better than others. So... And those cracks, I should have thought of these cracks when I embedded these magnets. I should have thought to solidify the area around where those magnets are going in so I didn't get cracking. But that's okay. Melt some birthday candles together for filament. Oh, there we go. I should be able to, I'll try printing filament. It's got to be that big around, be able to slide in this hole. So, or I could I have some 285 filament for the Atom Stack printer. So I wonder if 285 filament will probably slide down through there nicely. So there we go. Let's put that aside for now. And yeah, darn, the grub screw should have worked. It printed beautifully. Anyways, that's okay. And then so if you guys want it to be any more accurate, let me know and I'll do my best to fix it up. So that was a quick recap of this week. We had that meltdown of the printer last week, which was kind of exciting. Man, 30 of you here. Let's see who's on the Twitches here. We have 9 on the Twitches, 21 on the YouTubes. I like it. You may be able to get some plastic tubing to use as Bowden example. Possibly, yeah. Clear tubing to see the filament. Oh, there's a good idea too. I was going to do blue, although I do have a transparent blue PETG, which you would then see if I did some black filament. You'd see the black filament through the transparent blue PETG. That might be good because I can print the Bowden. The Bowden itself, I shouldn't have trouble. Like if I show you the picture of the Bowden, if you look at the top of the Bowden tube here, right there, there's enough surface area for the print bed. If I put a little bit of a raft around it, not a raft, a brim. If I put a brim around it, I can get a 300 millimeter print, no problem with that. The other possibility is just to not even do infill, but to do vase mode, do the middle and the outside in vase mode. So anyways, those are things I'll think about as I go. Hey, Chris Brillo, you have a Bowden. Of course you have a Bowden. Because YouTube is better than Twitch. Haha, there we go. So, Chris, we were just showing off the my latest work, which was the hot end I designed on for showing off the intricacies of a hot end, and I've done an all metal one as well. But we'll show more of that next week when I get more printed. You're 3D printing a 3D printer. Now, see, that's not a bad idea. Can you imagine doing this and then also then continuing this? And of course, this is, as I say, an education model because it does a break with the magnets. You got the breakaway for the inside. Then doing a 500% print, because I have the capability with the rat rig, printing a 500% size 3D printer. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. But that's more so, it's more so of a teaching tool for hot ends, Chris, for showing people how the hot ends work. And here's why you're getting a clog, because you're not butting your Bowden tube up enough against the hot end and yada, 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 yada. And here's the difference between a all metal hot end and a standard Bowden system hot end. So anyways, yeah. And then there's one of my failed attempt prints today. We can throw that one in the failed attempt garbage. And I will make that available eventually. People are asking me for STL for the other one. I'm waiting until I finish the design on this, and I will make it available somewhere, but it's not ready for me to make it public yet because I've got to do some tweaks and stuff like that on it yet. So yeah, and then once I get all the tweaks and stuff done, I'll decide how I want to make it available. A lot of time going into that. So, which, hey, but again, it's, when am I making an extruder? Ooh. That's not a bad idea, Duff, because there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions about how the extruders work and why extruders clog as far as using flexible filament versus non. That's not a bad idea. It's very easy to take one of them apart. Anyways, hey, plus any practice I can get in Fusion 360, an extruder might be another one that's a little different challenge to do. So, hey, not a bad idea. I've planted that in here. So let's see. That's a good idea because it goes hand in hand, right? You can have the extruder, then you can have the Bowden tube going into the, and then next somebody's going to ask me, how do you do a direct drive? Can you do a direct drive one? And I'm going to go, yeah, okay. So, but hey, I'll be a Fusion 360 Pro before I know it. You see, K-Print 3D just said it. I don't know who beat who to it. Put the files into a Patreon membership benefit. That's a great idea, Joe. That's a really good idea, especially if I make different parts of the printer. Like, you could do anything as far as the mechanics of a 3D printer. And yeah, that's not maybe a bad idea. I'll think about it here. You're great at finding more projects to do. Of course you are. I love working in Fusion 360. So this was a great little project for me. The first big project I did which was one of that big ductwork thing. I think I showed some of you guys. My timeline or my tree, the browser tree where you organize your components and stuff, was just out to lunch. It was wacko, stupid, crazy. If anybody looked at it, they'd be lost in it. Like it's like a ball of yarn trying to find one end, whereas this one gave me much more practice. And with the help of such great folks that were on my stream Friday night, like Lama and Old Curmudgeon, naming my different components and bodies and everything helps keep things so much more organized. So you learn as you go. That's the way I go. I learn as I go, and I learn by making great mistakes. So, and I do make a lot of mistakes. So hopefully that diminishes. But if I ever stop making mistakes, I'll stop streaming, because that's just means I'm not learning anymore. So representing Jamaica tonight. Hello, any Jamaicans out there? I know Maria may be watching in the background. So hello, Maria. And so what I'm going to do now, because honestly, I swear I didn't have anything planned to do tonight. Just finished printing that heat break on the rat rig. I've got the only piece I've kept from that fire sale printer last week was the case, because I think it's pretty cool What do you learn if you don't make mistakes? You don't learn anything if you don't make mistakes, right? A lot. Velcro was a mistake. Look what that did for the people who invented Velcro. So, anyways, I pulled this little guy out because what I want to do, I worked on this Ender 3 here a long time ago. Now you're going to say, well, you just had an Ender 3 last week or a few weeks ago. Yeah, but this is a different one. This one I haven't had. This one's got dust on it because I haven't had this one out in probably. Oh, it's got sparkles all over it. Must have a sparkle party down here. Haven't had this one out. This has been on the floor and hasn't been used in probably a year. So this one I had put in a whole new hot end mount, and I put in the Dragonfly, the Fadius Dragonfly hot end. But the thermistor on this thing keeps popping out because it was the old ball thermistor used with a thermal compound paste to hold it in this little hole, and it didn't work really well. Hey, DB3D, thank you for popping in, and yes, thank you for your words of encouragement today. I was on Dan's stream saying, I'm having a humdrum day, didn't know if I wanted to stream or not, and Dan said, then stream. So I'm glad I did, Dan. Thank you. It's awesome. So this is the one with the Fadius Dragonfly. The other one has the Fadius Dragonfly on it as well, right here. If I shall lift this. So this is the one, if you might recall, that we did. Here, if I switch cameras, if I can reach over real quick. There we go. This is the one with the new fan, the new hot end mount and everything that we did. This has the Fadius Dragonfly in it. This is the one that we finished a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to put this aside again. Oh, if I don't break it. And that's the one, remember, I had to reflash the firmware on it. So this one does also have the Dragonfly in it, but it's been sitting around a while. So I'm going to take this apart. I don't know if any of you guys have watched, I think it was last week I watched it, Brian Vines. He pops out on my stream once in a while. Didn't invite you to the Sparkle Party. No, I didn't, Jason. I'm doing great, thank you. Brian Vines did a video, I think he put it out on Thursday or Friday or Wednesday, late last week, where I put it. It's in a box here somewhere. You're the only one that doesn't want to put anything together or take anything apart. You just want it to work, don't you, Chris? The nozzle from E3D, the Revo. Brian Vines did a video on putting a Revo on an Ender 3 V2, which was awesome. He did a great job on it. I love Brian. If you guys aren't subscribed to Brian Vines, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He reminds me of a young grandpa. I don't even know how old he is, but the way he presents his videos is so casual and it's fun to watch. Audio is out of sync. Okay, just pretend I'm an old kung fu movie. How does the Fadius Dragonfly print PLA? Fine, it prints it fine. It is an all metal. It's not a direct drive, but it works fine. I believe it's an all metal. Yeah, it is. It prints PLA just fine. Well, what I'll do is I'll fire this up right now. This hasn't been used in a bit. Why don't I fire it up and see what first of all, I want to see what firmware I've got on this. So let's fire this up and see together. I'm guessing this is not the Gyres firmware that I like, the Gyres firmware that I put in the other one. Okay, we're going to turn it on. It hasn't been turned on in years. It's got sparkles all over it. So he has good dad jokes too. I do. Oh, okay. Well, first let's fire this up and I'll tell you a couple good dad jokes I heard this week. Okay, we got Creality. And let's see here. Let's give you guys this view here. And it's the old Creality firmware. So it's not the Gyres firmware. So one of the first things I'm going to do after is I'll put the Gyres firmware on here. I have not printed the parts for the mount for the Revo. So they do have a drop-in replacement, but the one that Brian Vines did, it was a Revo, the standard Revo that I have actually, and you print parts for it, and it worked beautifully. It was great. So I want to do that. So Yeah, and I'm going to put the JARS firmware in here. But let's warm this up. Prepare back. No, prepare preheat PLA. Because I got to take this and listen to that loud fan now. That is a for some reason when I preheat PLA, my parts cooling fan turns on. So something going on in the and that's loud. Something going on in there. So okay, you want a dad joke? Fine. 3D printing newbie Milan, thank you for coming on. No worry about being late. So what? And I heard this on TikTok, I think. Okay, this requires a full face. Now you got to think about this. What does Jeff Bezos do before he goes to bed? What does Jeff Bezos do before he goes to bed? He puts his pudge Amazon. Eye rolls, size. Anyways, there we go. You wanted a dad joke. Okay. Yeah, I know. Silence says it all. He puts his pudge Amazon. Okay. And then you have like how do two lawyers say goodbye to each other? We'll see you tomorrow. Anyways, okay, there's my two dad jokes for the night. You can ask Ethan and Maria. My dad jokes are terrible. They usually get about this same response from everybody. So, okay, we're just going to heat this up. We're going to throw some filament in this and see if I'm going to just, as I say, I haven't touched this hot end on. That is hot. But the fact is that the part cooling fan's coming on while the hot end is trying to heat up, and it's blowing a tremendous amount of air. So I don't expect this is going to print very well, and it's not going to be a good example of how this hot end actually prints. Let's just see. Can I pull filament out yet? And we're melting and pulling. There we go. Let's go grab some filament off my brand new filament shelf made with the Repcord products. What color will show up good on screen on a black base? Let's do this beautiful Glitz Gray filament PLA made in Sweden from a company called Adnorth. They make some beautiful, beautiful filaments, and they work really, really well. Is it off like 2 seconds? Okay, let me come back. You're going to see a screen. You're going to keep my audio, but we're gonna do a little bit of a reset on OBS right now. Okay, I should be back. Tell me if that's a little better. You remind me of a highway because that's where accidents happen. I like that. Tell me if the sound's a little better now. We did a little bit of a quick reset there. Okay, let's throw this in. No in sync. Yes, good. Now in sync, no in sync. Awesome. Okay. We all know, any of us that stream know how good OBS is. So, and sometimes you have to just give OBS a kick in the arse and reboot it. So, okay, well, let's throw some of this. This filament's almost too good to waste, but I'm not going to call it waste. I'm going to call it, and the other thing on this one, if you notice, I don't know if you have noticed, but let me just wind this up again without losing the end like I just did so I don't screw it up. But the other thing on this is, I'm going to use this new camera. It's going to be blurry for a second. It's going to come up like this. And we're going to zoom in. We're going to try and keep it as not blurry as possible. There we go. You'll notice that the other thing that I haven't done on this yet is I have not replaced the feeder, or if you want to call it the extruder. This is still the cheap plastic version of the extruder with the little knob on it. So I have not replaced the extruder on this thing yet. So, which I will eventually do. So let's that'll be another update I do, because I don't like these plastic extruders, and I have more of the extruders that I can replace this with handy. So let's feed some filament in the hole. Get in the hole. Come on. One thing about direct drive is the filament usually goes in a little easier. Come on. Where's the hole? There's the hole. There we go. Little knob's okay, because the little knob lets you turn and you know, get the filament flowing. Still have some old red coming out, so let's do a little feed here. Let's move my extruder. Let's extrude 100 millimeters just to get it nice and clean. So we'll just feed some filament out here. But you can see this, the part cooling fan is on full blast right now. Can I actually turn this off in here? Let's see. Control. There's no way to control the fan in this one. Fan speed, there we go. And I just told it fan speed 0 and the fan's still on. Looks like you have an anti-backlash nut on there. On where? On here? Yeah, this is just what came standard on it. But I turned the fan off and it's still going full blast. So I've either got it wired up wrong or the firmware is screwed. So either way, we'll just do a quick test print and see if it actually works. See if it actually still prints. Still extruding. Then we'll get the gyros firmware put on here. So we're kind of just winging it tonight. I appreciate anybody watching. Hey, Jerry. And kind of 3D prints, hello. Okay, there we go. So it stopped extruding and the part cooling fan is off now. Now if I turn that up, is that going to come back on? Yes, it is. There we go. Oh, silence is golden. My goodness. Let me grab the SD card out of this one. Let me pop the SD card in and see what we have for a file here. See if I can get this. See it. I just want to get it. Just print something and see how crappy it's going to work. There we go. It's a chep cube. Yeah, good, perfect. Chep cube will be fast. I didn't even level the bed. Pulled it out after a year. I have not touched the level of the bed, as you guys saw. We're going to see, because I do have the replacement springs and my little red knobs on them. So the hot end fan is running right here. Yes, it is running. But we're going to see how well this kept its level too. That's just dragging on the hot bed there. This cable. Yeah, I gotta refix. I gotta fix a few things on this. Why are you dragging on the hot plate on the bed? Come on, get out of there. Well, whatever. It's not going to kill it. Soften the wires up a bit, if anything. And we're going to heat up. We'll see what happens. Let's see if it works. Let's get this camera in on the action here. Let's do this. No, wrong one. This one. There we go. We'll get this camera in on the action. There we go. Oh, I need one. Oh, probably, yeah. I see what you're saying now, 3D print, maybe Milan. I need one, yeah, maybe. It's an Ender 3. Oh, that's why these wires, okay, because these wires are supposed to be coming through here. Oh, okay. We got the wires. Okay, we are spitting plastic, or do I need to tune my Z offset? Oh no, we got plastic coming out. We're printing. We are printing. It's a little blurry for you guys, but we're printing. There we are. Any plans for an Ender 3 Switchwire mod? I don't know much about that yet. Switchwire is still a foreign term to me, but then again, Clipper was a foreign term to me at one point too. It looks like we're a little low. So there we go, kids. Life lesson. Level your bed after it's been sitting for a year. And there goes the park cooling fan, but that is, I got to turn that down a bit. I can even go down to half of that. Although, oh, there we go. What's half of 255? 125 and a half, 127 and a half. So let's go to 130. That's too big a fan. Well, maybe it's not too big a fan for this, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this prints. Core XY, Core XZ mod. Okay, interesting. Do I answer questions here unrelated to what you're working on? Absolutely, yes. While we're watching this little test print, because as I say, tonight is just kind of a casual, no specific plan type thing, but I can do a switchwire conversion, no problem. Thanks, Jason. You would know if I could do it. I'd need a little bit of guidance from some people, but I have a build coming up. I haven't mentioned it yet, but it's possible. What are we at the end of March almost? But keep your eye open. I'm knock on wood. I'm getting a Voron 0.1 kit in here soon to build. So this is a CR30 nozzle centered on the heated build plate, or more to the front or rear, checking for Ender 3 build belt printer build, and that you and Liam are working on. Is it centered on the build plate? Or do you mean the heater block? Oh, is it centered on the heated build plate? Oh, hang on. Let me have a look. I see what you're asking, Jerry. Let me have a look. Let me see. It is more towards the rear of the build plate. It's more towards the rear, from what it looks like, because the build plate is about the actual heated build plate is not that big. I can't quite see, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's a little bit more towards the rear of it. The belt printer does have a cooling fan mount. Yes, it does. Well, it's got a cooling fan. It's got a part cooling fan. Yeah. No, go ahead. Anybody ask any questions. I can't guarantee to answer them, but you can go ahead and ask them. No problem at all. As I say, tonight is just a casual stream, and you guys know me. I'm pretty simple, pretty simple. I don't want to call myself simple. Pretty easygoing. Trying to find. I'm just gonna actually try and give a little better look at this print as it's going. So I'm going to switch to this one so I can put a box. This is basically all this is good for so far. I haven't even opened this. I haven't even opened this yet. I've been using it as a stand for my cameras, just because I don't know if there's any need to open that thing. So now if I go to this cam, and I go like this, it's a little easier. And I can zoom right into this sucker and get you nice and focused here. And then we can lighten it up a little bit. There, you can actually see the print going now. What's the square root of the gravitational pull of Mars's gravity? That's a great question, Dan. So now, is that... Okay, that varies. Okay, the gravitational pull of This is a true story. The gravitational pull of Mars's gravity varies depending on the position of Mars's two moons. Okay. The moons have really, as you know, the moon around us, Earth, it has a lot of effect on our gravitational pull. Mars has two moons. Okay. Now, depending on the location of those moons around the planet, the gravitational pull of Mars is different at different moon phases. So just keep that in mind. Local Maker MI, thank you. Hello. That's an interesting gangsta shirt. It is, isn't it? Jamaica representing. Somebody sent this to me from Jamaica, or I got it in Jamaica. I don't remember. Anyways, Dan, if they're full moons, okay, and you are on the full moon side, basically, in other words, like if you're like us, if you're in the summer, mid of the summer months where it's going to be winter solstice, where it's just turning from summer to winter solstice, the square root of the gravitational pull is going to be 4.77979 ohm meters. Okay, now just think about that one. Put on your hair with the dreads and beads, please. I don't have any of the dreads. Maria, if you're watching, do you have any dreads I can put on? I could grow my hair long enough to make dreads. Thanks, Dan. Well, hey, I try to answer as many questions as I can, and if it's outside of my realm of knowledge, now if Liam was on here, he may have a different opinion on that because he's more spacey than I am. So. Sounds like a better chat over here than what? Than what? Yeah, man. I have 39 people listening to me, listening to my knowledge, my wealth of knowledge. I need a light on this. Let me use, that's what this other camera is great. It's got a light on it. So this actually helps light up my other close-up cameras. Look at that. So with the light, without the light. Look at that. That's awesome. But I love these. I can't say enough about these little cameras I got. They are amazingly cool and awesome close-up cameras. And for those of you that haven't seen them before, they're a lot less expensive than your high-end cameras. And if I go like this, it's this camera right there. That's the camera right there that you're looking at that print happening through. And that's the camera right there that you're kind of looking at me through. And these are on AliExpress or Banggood or something. They are Panasonic lenses, I believe, Panasonic or Sony lenses, and great cameras. But that camera right there is this view right here. And they're fixed focus cameras. So they're not going to zoom in and out and zoom in and out depending on what's around them. I control the focus. I have the power. Kevin Spacey would have an even different answer. He would. He really would. Twitch versus YouTube. You like the conversation here better? Good. So let's see. We have 39 people watching. We have 12 Twitchers and 27 YouTubers. Look at that. Now, unfortunately, YouTube and Twitch, you can both hear me. And if I comment, like if I say, hey guys, this is me, and I hit enter, both Twitch and YouTube see it. But if you're conversing on the text, like you're typing on Twitch, only your Twitchers can see it. And if you're on YouTube and you're typing on YouTube, only your YouTubers can see it. So you YouTubers don't know, unless you've got your Twitch windows open, you don't know who is on Twitch. And you Twitch people, unless you've got your YouTube window open, don't know who's on YouTube. So that's why, and Dominic says he can't do Twitch. I may eventually go forward because I'm starting to get, my numbers are climbing a little on Twitch. I'm not supposed to be dual streaming to Twitch according to the affiliate rules. So I may end up my Sunday night, this particular stream will probably, going forward after the next little bit, will probably just strictly be YouTube. So, because it is really difficult, not difficult, but it's really, and I'm not going to say not fair, but the Twitch people are missing out on the YouTube conversation in the chat, and the YouTube people are missing out on the Twitch conversation in the chat. So on mobile, there can only be one. Yes, that's true, Old Curmudgeon, you got it. But I'm sure, OC, that if you looked and said, hey, Tim is streaming on YouTube, but he's not on Twitch, you'd fire up your YouTube on your mobile. I'm sure. So there's always ways to get chats on the screen. Yeah, unfortunately, me with StreamYard, I use OBS as my main thing, and then I'm streaming with StreamYard. And fortunately, with StreamYard, I can see both chats going on at once here, and I can click on or just hover over my little eyeball on the left here, and I can see how many viewers are on StreamYard versus YouTube, or Twitch versus YouTube. Twitch mobile better. Yes, that's true. Yeah. But I'm going to eventually have to make a choice because I have my wrists haven't been slapped by Twitch yet, but they probably will be eventually. I've reached I'm close to reaching 2 out of 3 requirements on Twitch for being partner. The third one's going to be difficult because that's an average of 75 viewers on an ongoing basis or something. I'm almost at the hour streamed, and I've got the I think I've got the followers. I hit 100. I don't know how many you need for partner on Twitch, but I've got 100 followers on Twitch already. Thank you, everybody. Grab your wife and kids' phones and line them up. There you go. That's the way to do it. You stream on your TV Fire Stick and can chat on the phone. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Looks like we got, well, that one corner looks like it's probably just a glitch because that first layer didn't go down the best. It's not doing too bad. Let's speed it up here a bit. Printing speed. Let's go to 150. Let's speed it up 50%, but we're also going to heat the nozzle temperature up by 7 degrees. There we go. And also, I can't increase my flow from here. No, I'd increase the flow a little bit with the higher speed, but we'll just do that. Full send. It's just annoying on YouTube mobile that it kills the stream when you want to do something. Oh, it does? Oh, I didn't know that. Hey, Edutech, how you doing, Jim? Getting the little man ready for bed, but wanted to pop in and say hi. Hey, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Tonight's a pretty casual stream here. We're just, I'm going to be ripping apart this Ender 3. I just thought it's been sitting for a year. I wanted to see if it would actually print. And then, yeah. And for those of you that did show up, I can show this off again. I designed in Fusion 360 a Creality cutaway hot end type thing, which is kind of anatomically correct to a Creality hot end. There's our heat break, yada, 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 and our heat sink. That'll snap together. We've got some Bowden tube to go in it yet, and then I did the same thing for a all metal one. So if we look up on the screen here, I know a few of you guys just came on. So this is my model in Fusion 360 for the Creality Bowden. So that's where the Bowden goes all the way down to the hot end. And that's basically going to be a cutaway thing here, right? So there we go. So so it'll look like that when you take it apart, and then when you put it back together, it's going to be an actual full hot end. And then over here we have the all metal version. This is modeled after after the Micro Swiss all metal hot end. So we have the break there, and then the Bowden stops in there, and the rest of it is just filament. So yeah, that's kind of what I was working on this week, and I got to print all these models up, but I got to tweak a few things in the design yet. So. And then, yeah, somebody suggested earlier that I do a Patreon and put the models available through Patreon. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, Wolf Pup, I didn't see a pop in there. Hello and welcome. Everybody's popping in and I'm missing everybody. So there we go. So... everybody's here tonight. That's great to see. And we have a failed model. Look at this. That's what you get for having a printer sitting around for a year, and you just fire it up. You wipe the dust off the bed, but you don't clean the bed. So 2 lessons, guys. If it's sitting around for a year, level your bed and clean your bed. So Let's put an end to this. Let's put an end to this. Anyways, we made some spaghetti. But otherwise, it was, it needs a bit of work. It needs a bit of love. Bottom layer's nothing to write home about. Oh, come here. There we go. I can focus on that a little better. There we go. Bottom layer's nothing to write home about because I didn't level the bed. Otherwise, it was doing okay until it decided, oh, you didn't clean the bed, so we're going to screw up and we're going to fail your print. So there we go. But that's okay. So let's move the Z up out of the way here so we can work on it a bit. Which camera? If I take this camera and if I zoom this way out now, whoa, look at that. There, we can play with this and we can take apart a hot end here. It prints, it's fine, but can be better. What's going on? I'm missing all the conversation. F, fail. Yes, exactly. At least it didn't come apart. No, it didn't burn. Jim, if you haven't seen the Fire Sale Kids printer, check out my video. I posted it last week on my YouTube. It's a really interesting video to watch. You can put it on your hot makes, and if you watch it, you'll see why it's hot. It's a hot make. You got to watch it. It was epic, and it was a very scary thing to happen, and it's a warning to people actually. So I'm kind of glad I caught it on video, but it would definitely make for a hot make, literally. Okay, let's kill our steppers. Actually, let's kill the power. There we go. Yeah, I need an anti-backlash. Look at that. That's just falling like a rock, sinking like a rock here. So I'm just going to turn this around. We're just going to pop this. We'll pop this hot end apart. Why are those Phillips screws? It was a smoking hot video. Yes, it was. Hello. Oh, everybody give Maria Webster, who just said hello. Show Maria some love, guys. But seriously, Jim, watch that video. Let me know what you think about it, honestly. Everybody say hi to Maria. Maria is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. She lets me do this, and she's so supportive, and I love her so much for it. Okay. Let's pop some screws out here. We're going to take this hot end apart. I'm going to print I think what I will do is this week I will print the mount for the Revo that I have, and we'll throw the Revo on this thing next week, and we'll see how that all works. I gotta rewatch Brian Vine's video on it. He did a great job on showing how to put the Revo on this, so he has inspired me. Scott Lamke, I didn't see you pop in. Hello. Welcome. We'll get the part cooling fan off of here. Maybe one day we'll even clipperize in one of the Ender 3s I have left. I have 2 Ender 3 V2s left. Clip some zip ties here. Come on, zip tie. You don't want to be clipped, do you? There you go. Too bad. Okay, Jim, see you later. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Watch that video. Give me your opinion, seriously. Look at that. All the love going to Maria. Awesome. And if Ethan's still awake and he wants to come down and do his thing on the video, he's welcome to, hon. Oh, I got to get this piece out. Peace out, dude. Oh, well. I just broke the mount. That's okay. I'm getting rid of it. I'm getting rid of it anyways. This piece should come out. This piece should come out easier than that. Let's see. There it is. That way I can get the fan out of there. Boom and boom. I think we may have a special guest coming down here right now. We'll see. We may have a special guest. And he's going to suggest something. And you all got to listen to what he's going to say. Because he is serious about this stuff. He is dead serious about this stuff. You ready? I hear him. I think I hear him. Hang on. I hear the footsteps. Here we go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Careful. Come here. Careful. Oh, come on. Was that tiring? Okay, hang on. He's tired out. He ran all the way. Okay, come here. You got to come here. You have 38 people watching you. Come here. No, come here.
38?
Actually, come here. We're going to do it this way. Here, come here. Ready? Oh, okay. Now, if you want that camera right there, okay, you're going to say, hit that like button and subscribe and follow me on Twitch.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
Hit that like button and subscribe and follow me on Twitch.
And say follows are free.
Follows are free.
And subscriptions are free on YouTube.
Subscriptions are free on YouTube. Ow.
Oh, careful. Awesome. There we go.
Okay,
say bye, everybody.
Bye. You're going to have to replace the ow part.
I'll replace the ow part. Okay. Thanks, Ethan. There we go. So you got to like it and you got to do what he says. Okay, back to this. He is so cute. I love him so much. Okay, where is that one? So this is this one. I'm going to pull this mount off. We're going to throw this mount away. No offense to whoever designed this mount. I don't know who did this mount. This was a year ago. My memory does not go back that far. And I'm going to find the mount that Brian did for the Revo. And we're going to print a Revo mount. Now, would have been cool to print the Revo mount with this printer. I could do it with the other one, I suppose, but I'm just going to print it on my Prusa. Probably. Just because I can. Hey, yeah, see, look at all that. Yeah, he's so cute. He loves coming on and doing that. And you know what? Maybe a future YouTuber, you never know. Right, Mom? Might have a future YouTuber there. He is definitely not camera shy. I don't think. No, he's not camera shy. There we go. So we will take this one. We'll salvage this nut from it. Not this nut, this nut. Oops. There we go. This is garbage. Okay, so there's the hot end that was on it. This is a dragonfly. Let's pull the sock off. Oh, that sock is all... Oh, no, this sock is... Oh, it's got one rip in it. No big deal. It's got a bunch of thermal paste in it. So... And we are we cooled off? We're a little warm yet, but we're pretty much, for the most part, cooled off. Isn't that how you tell? You just grab the hot end and say, are we cooled off? Only handle one YouTuber, please. Okay, Mom. But Mom, think of Ryan's world. Depending on what YouTube's about, he could make millions for us. You could get that pool. You could get that house with the pool. Okay, let's put this away. But if you don't subscribe and you don't follow after he says that, you basically have bad luck for a week. So just putting it out there. Okay, and we will pop this hot end off. Oh, come on. Third time's a charm. There we go. Pop that off. Get the Bowden tube out before I go too much further. Oh, I still got filament in it. I should have pulled the filament. Okay, I can do that right now, actually. Silly me. Here we go. Here's your chance to fire sale. We're going to heat the hot end up and pull the filament out. Go to 220. We'll pull the filament out with an exposed hot end. No cooling fan on it. There we go. This is as dangerous as it is going to get. There will still be a pool. Send that boy to Harvard or MIT. He is a smart kid. He is incredibly smart. He comes up. He mentions things like today. What was it he mentioned today? About something I told him about like 6 months ago in the car on the way home from daycare. And he mentions it today, and I'm like, how do you remember this stuff? He is smart as a whip. He does not miss anything. No, Pygar, there will not be more magic smoke. We're heating a hot end up. There shouldn't be no reason other than me touching it, and it's hot to see. All I'm doing is pulling filament out. No smoke. We have a thermistor and we have a heater cartridge. It should not overheat. And it's not even getting the heat sink warm. Worst thing I can do is maybe cut my finger on the fan. That's a loud fan. I may get, this is probably not a ball bearing fan. Why is this, what's kind of the fan is? It's a brushless DC fan, but it's not a bearing fan, I don't think. Anyways, there we go. Filament in. Let's just, there we go. Cold pull this sucker. No. Okay. Got the filament out of here. There we go. Power off, unplug. There. Just to give you guys some thrills, I will pull the Bowden tube out with pull the hot end off while it's hot, and I'll attempt to get the thermistor and the heater cartridge out while it's hot. Just to give you guys something to go, ooh. If the heater cartridge glows, it's a bad. I know, right? Okay, here. There might be chance of burning here. Ready? It's still very hot. Okay. Oh, wow. Why is that? Why is that there? So if we pop this out, there's the heater cartridge. And you see, the thermistor just popped right out. See, because it's one of these little ball thermistors. And if I loosen this one off, this hot end comes with, let me put it down here. Let me put this here for a second. This is going to be hot. Oh, that's going to be very hot. Okay. Oh, that was very hot. So this comes with one of these little guys, which is really, I could actually, yeah, I have the technology to focus this for you. So it comes with one of these. It's just a little insert where you're supposed to put thermal paste and put your ball thermistor in, and then that goes in as a thermistor cartridge like that. So it kept falling out. And I even had thermal adhesive in there, and it kept falling out. So not a very good idea. So this will be replaced. Well, mind you know, this is going to be the Revo. So the Revo has its own, this is all going to be different. That's still hot too, though. I got to remember that's still pretty hot. So yeah. Oh, there, that cools off actually quite fast. That was hot when I first touched it, but it cools off quite fast. There we go. Okay, see, you guys like that. Just see a little burn. Actually, that was a little bit of a burn, but I think I had I'm pretty sure I had super glue coated on this fingertip from when I was doing that magnet in before. So I think it melted the glue more so than my skin. So we should be okay there. But there's everybody's seen that, but that's the Dragonfly hot end. No, which is still pretty hot. That's on there. So, and it's still pretty warm. These take a little bit to cool off. But as you see, based on the heat break that's going down there, so you can see that right in there, that the heat break, so that's an all metal hot end because your Bowden tube is not going anywhere near. Look at that. It's a permanent dent in my finger from touching that. It's not going anywhere near the nozzle. So this is an all metal hot end, this one. So there we go. There we go. For your entertainment value. See what I won't do? The Revo, that's hot. The Revo uses the stock ender thermistor. Oh, it does. I thought the Revo had a, let me just go grab it and just see. I thought it had, oh, my back. Okay, let me find my hot ends. Here we are. Let's just pull the Revo out here and have a look. Oh. Okay. Where is, okay, here's, oh, that's the old Revo. This is a, oh yeah, I cut that thermistor off of that one. That's a Generation 1 Revo. That was the first beta. I'm pretty sure somewhere in here, unless these are all my nozzles. That's somewhere in here. The other Revo. No, that's the original Revo. Where'd I put it? That's a spare nozzle for the original Revo. There's another heater block for something. Okay, hang on. Let me just hang on 1 second. It's got to be. Oh, it's right here. Is it right here? I can't find anything. That's not it. I have a Revo here somewhere, I promise. I really do. It's not that. Anyways, where the heck? Bolts, camera, miscellaneous accessories, lube, printer parts new. Printer parts new. Would it be in the printer parts new bin? Let's see. Main board for the Tycoon. These are hot ends. Water cooled hot end. Big Tree Tech Octopus board. Nope, it's not in here. Okay, well, it's around. It really is. But it's going to bug me because I put it where I wouldn't. You ever put something where you won't misplace it when you want to find it, and then when you go to find it, wow. Huh. Anyways, it's around, but I guess my point is it's going to be a similar thermistor to this one. Okay, so this, as I say, was an early beta Revo because as we see at the end, it doesn't have the same, but the thermistor on this one is built in. So there's the heater cartridge wire, and the thermistor wire is right here. So the thermistor is kind of all built right in to this whole get up and go right here. So that'll be like a splice wire into the wire that's coming up for this thermistor. So I can actually use the same thermistor wire, just splice into it. It'll be in the last place I look for it. Yes. Revo CR is made to replace Ender hot ends. Yeah, but the one I'm putting on is not going to be a Revo CR. It's going to be an original Revo, whichever one it is. It's not this one, as I say. This I could probably still use. This was the first beta. And there's a spare nozzle for the first beta one. Or is that a spare nozzle for, yeah. And somewhere, as I say, I do have the Revo. I just, it's here. Believe me, it's here somewhere. How crazy is that? You'd think it would be in with all my other stuff, but this is just mostly nozzles. This is just full of nozzles and stuff. So, and then my Bondtech nozzles. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll find it. I will find it for next week for sure. So let's see. Really quickly, I don't want to bore you guys by just looking for something that I should know where it is, but that's okay. I lose things because what's in here? That's a box full of nanopolymer adhesive. I got to do a giveaway on that stuff eventually here. That was for a channel giveaway. Did I say giveaway? Where's Matt? I did see Stefan's video on the Revo. It was really good. But for some reason, I have misplaced my Revo. And it's bugging me a little bit. I'm just going to do one more quick glance. And then I'll get back to it. Accessories and lube. It wouldn't be in my accessories and lube box. It's not in my lube box. Although I have a fan in my lube box. Okay, well, you know what they say, as Jason said, it'll be in the last place I look. Definitely in the last place I look. Okay. It's bugging me. Okay, I'm going to stop. Anyway, so that's what we're going to replace with. This should be cooled off by now. It's still pretty warm. Yeah, it takes a while to cool off, but we'll use this one for something else. Are we still blurry here? Oh yeah, we have that because I had the focus up here. Sorry. So we'll use this hot end on something different. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll try this on. Ooh, I wonder if on the CR30. Maybe. Anyways, we'll see. Maybe I'll model this hot end up. Ooh, maybe that can be one of my next Fusion 360 projects to model a. No, okay, I'm getting carried away now. So let's give you some focus back here. And let's do this because we're this is pretty much taken apart as far as I'm going to take it apart for now. Well, no, I can take it apart a little bit further because I'm going to replace the feeder as well. Should go all out and put linear rails on it too, but that can be a future build, a future update. I need to look for something else to find it exactly. You get 50 viewers online tonight. I can do the usual. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. Auto drop. Yeah, awesome. 50 viewers. We had 41 at one point. 50 is going to be tough. I burned myself. I attempted to burn myself, and it didn't. Unless everybody's out there going, "Hey, DWIT 3D's on. He's going to burn himself." This is cooled off now too much for me to even attempt to burn myself on it. So, oh well, I do my best to keep my viewers happy with injuries, etc. Come on, Bowden, don't be stubborn. Okay, it's not going to come off easy, so we're going to do. You're not going to come off easy, so we're going to do it the hard way. I have the proper tools, but you know what? It's easier sometimes just to manhandle it. Guess what? Sergeant Killex. Hey, how are you? Guess what? What? Don't leave me guessing. Don't leave me hanging. There's some Bowden. When I misplace something, I usually find it after I buy a new one. Well, I'm not going to buy a new Revo right now. You bought something. Did you buy a rat rig, Sergeant Killex? A rat rig, I'll bet. What size? Let's take this extruder apart while we're here. Why not? It's always fun to disassemble, do a live disassembly of an extruder. What size? Awesome. Congratulations, number one. There we go. There we go. Guess. You bought a 500 by 500. When you say it that way, it's a 500 millimeter. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I think I'm right. No. Oh, well. Okay, then a 300. A 300. Or did you get the what's that other one that you just built, Jason? The one that you teased me with that picture of. V Minion, yeah. Did you get the V Minion, Sergeant Killex? You got the V Minion. Awesome. Cool. That's a neat looking little printer. That's like the rat rig version of the Mini. Oh, come on. Yeah, you have to be the smaller size, don't you? Awesome. Congratulations. When's delivery? Is it a long wait, do you know? I'm not sure how long the wait is for those V Minions. You broke it. It is. Broke the bank, though. Full kit. Awesome. That's great. That is awesome. Well, from my experience with the Rat Rig product, you're going to love it. And uno más, one more screw, and we should have a loose stepper motor. There we go. I don't know, maybe I'll put a different sort of feeder on this one. I like these Under 3 V2 printers. They're great. They have a lot of good features. And I may as well take this off while I'm at it here, because this is going to have to come off anyways. There we go. Here. Let's zoom out a bit here. There we go. Okay. Let's just tighten these grub screws so I don't lose them. Nothing worse than dropping a grub screw on the floor of your studio / workshop. Never, ever to be found again. 1 to 2 weeks. Cool. Awesome. Okay, we have an Ender 3. Split that wire a bit there. We have an Ender 3 V2 all ready to accept a new hot end, other than, so I'm probably going to, both of these fans, actually everything on here is going to be replaced, but I won't cut any wires yet. There's the fan wires that I've spliced for the big part cooling fan. So I won't cut any wires yet until I get the pieces printed, until I find the Revo. But there we go. This is all prepped and waiting for a new hot end. And you know, for anybody out there that doesn't tinker with their own printers, 3 years ago, before I started this channel, even back when I first started this channel, I wouldn't have done this. I would have been too intimidated to take this thing apart and say, okay, we're going to do a new hot end, we're going to print a new part, blah, blah. I wouldn't do it. I was too new to it and too nervous to do it. But the more you play with it, the more you practice, it just becomes almost second nature. And really, you got to think about it. Unless you do something really, really outrageously crazy, there's nothing you can do that can't be undone, except for what happened last week for the printer, for the little printer. That can't be undone. But for the most part, there's nothing you can do that can't be undone. So let's put this guy aside for now. There we go. Just put this down over here. And I want to, what time are we at? 7:30. We've got another half hour to stream here. Prototype, S3 Prototype. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that on the Twitches. Hey, You bought yourself an Elegoo Saturn III, rearranging the office to have it air and ventilated. Oh, cool! And that's the that's that liquid one. Okay, see you later, Mike Autodrop. Thank you so much. Thanks for popping in. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate that offer. Unfortunately, we didn't get up to 50, but thank you. Oh, thank you. Nice shirt. You like that? Jamaica. Jamaica me smile when you say stuff like that. You know that. You really Jamaica me smile. Don't got a tinker with a Prusa other than first layer calibration. Got some new satin sheets. Didn't adjust. Suffered. Okay. Yeah, the Elegoo is the resin printer, isn't it? The Elegoo Saturn III. Yeah. Speaking of the Prusa, we're going to pull this over here. Oh, let's get this over here. I want to find the files for the. Let's get the Prusa in the picture. I want to find the files for the Revo that Brian used, and I think he put links in his. I believe he put links to those. Why is my mouse? There we are, traversing across all three screens because I have it set to. Here we go. I just need to pull a window from here over to here and get on the YouTube here. Prusa, yeah, yay, Prusa! They are extremely reliable printers. Do it next time and post it up. I will Autodrop. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Okay. So let's have a peek here. Let's you guys can share the screen. That's fine. Oh, wrong screen. Keep hitting the wrong button on my button box there. Let's go to YouTube. Let's go to look. Oh, DWIT's live tonight. Look at that. Holy cow. There's 25 people watching them on YouTube. Are they crazy? Brian Wines. For Brian's channel. Let's find that video he did, which was I think on videos, and it was recent. Right there, the Revo. Here we go. Okay, I love Brian's videos. My goodness, I wish I had hair like him. Number one. Okay, I mean that hair. I'm jealous of it. I got the gray beard, but the hair. Oh man. Okay, so let's find the links. He's got a link to the Revo. E3D installation guide PDF includes a link to their printable files right there. 83's printable files on Prusa printers. Oh, and it's probably going to have a G-code file already for me. Okay, so if we come here, and if we come down and go to the files, step files, STL files. Okay, so we have steps and STLs. So I don't really need the steps unless I want to put my name on them. I could take the steps and put them into Fusion. Nah. So we'll download the micro. I don't need to log in. I just want to download the files. I have an account, I know, but I won't log in. Fan Shroud and Fan Shroud Ender 3 CR10 Revo. Macro. What are the difference? With supports. I'll download both and just see which one I need. So really it's just the two parts, the fan shroud and the bracket. Okay. And basically we go from that to that. So it's got a really cool little mount for the fans. So the fans, it's a dual cooling fan, one here and one in behind here. So it kind of goes off to the side, and then just a little mount that goes for the Revo right here. And you use the Revo fan for the cooling fan, and you use the stock Ender 3 fan for the part cooling fan, which I've got to splice in because I've taken that one off of this one. So yeah. So there we go. So we got those downloaded. So let's just really quickly find my download folder. Downloads. And we can move this over to here. I've got lots of downloads. These are all my, when I save my files from Fusion 360, I put everything in my download folder because I can say, oh, I can find it easier. My desktop is just a massive mess on my computer. So to put stuff on my desktop is scary. So I'm going to, let's open the Prusa. There we go. So I'm going to share this screen instead. Is that screen 1? I've screen 1. Yes, that's the screen 1. So I'm going to share this screen. See, if you see my desktop, it's just way too busy. So there's the Prusa. There's the grub screw I just printed earlier. So let's delete that. And let's bring in fan shroud with supports. Let's bring in the bracket first. Oh, that's not very long of a print at all. Got the E3D logo on it. No supports needed. Printing in that orientation. We'll have a few overhangs under here, but that won't be an issue at all. That should, interesting, that should print just fine. So let's go ahead and print settings. Let's go ahead and print that with, in the meantime, I'm going to actually, before I get too far, I'm going to plug in the Prusa here. We'll print as much as we can live, and then what we can't print live, we won't. And let me just warm it up. I think I'll just leave the filament that's on here right now too. No, I got to put PETG on. That's right. So let's unload filament, and it's PLA. I'm going to run these in PETG. So here we go. So we're going to do 0.2. We're going to do 3 perimeters. 5 and 4 is fine. Infill, I don't need 100%. I'm going to go high on the infill though, because it's a small part. So I'm going to do 50% infill. And I'm going to do gyroid because I kind of like the gyroid infill. Skirt and brim. We'll do 2 skirt loops, 10 millimeters, 1 layer. I don't need support material. Speed, we can leave at the default. So let's slice and see how long this will take. It's only 40 minutes. Pretty quick. So that's a pretty quick print, 40 minutes. And it should print without issue at all. Some little overhang, some bridging there, and our overhangs or bridging, whatever you want to call it there. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to throw the SD card in here. And I'm going to, yeah, I know. Get out of there. And this is called grub screw. No, this is called bracket. We're going to call it Revo bracket. Revo bracket. Save. There we go. Eject. Close. Come back here to this and back to me. Here we go. Printed a grub screw. No, it's not functional. I'll show you in a second here. Let's, while this is heating up, we're going to change the filament. Let me just go grab, oh, let's undo this filament. This is the Prusa Galaxy Black PLA. I want to print these parts in PETG. Let's see what colors I have in PETG. On my new filament rack, printed using the Repcord brackets. No, he doesn't pay me to say that. What do I got for PETG here? Let's see. PLA. I haven't sorted by brand, by type yet, so that's why I'm kind of where my PETGs are usually in bags. I don't need that. Come on, I gotta get a PETG of some sort here. What's this one? It's PLA. That's PLA. Where's all my PETGs? It's Jesse PLA. There's a PETG Signal White. I have more PETG than that. Come on. Surely I have more PETG. Let's see. Ender 3 V2 blah blah blah. Let's do something different. What color is this? Maybe that. What color is this one? They're both clear. Let's do something different. Let's print them in this. Use the green from Devil Design. No. We're going to use, I'm just going to do this for fun. We're going to use some PCTG. So some Essentium PCTG Plus. It prints pretty much same temperature range, so 220 to 280, 80-degree bed, but it's much stronger than PETG. So let's use some PCTG. So let's preheat, and we'll use the PETG. We use the PETG settings from Prusa. Why not? You know what I didn't do? When I sliced the file, I didn't tell it it was PETG. So we're going to go back in. I've been printing so much PLA lately, so I'm going to go back into the Prusa right here. Let's go back to screen 1, and I'm going to go back to here and filament settings. Actually, I'm just going to go right back to the plater, and I'm going to tell it that it is Prusa Mint PETG. And temperature, first layer nozzle temperature, fine. We can discard all that. And we'll just double check here. So we have 240, 250. No, that's a bit warm. 230, 240. We'll do 230, 240, and the bed only has to be at 80, 85. 80, okay, and we are going to go, that's fine. We'll slice it up again. And we'll save it to the card again. I didn't want me to replace it. Actually, I'm going to give it a new name because we're going to call this Revo bracket PCTG, so I know what it is. There we go. And eject. Close that. There was one more thing I saw while I was here. What did I see while I was here? Oh, yes. Switch the camera back here. Oh, this one. Sorry. There we go. PETG is nice too. Basically all I use now, unless I'm looking for a specific color. Yeah, I like PETG. The Essentium I got directly from Essentium online, if you go to their website. But I do have to, one thing I do want to do is change the bed. I want to put my textured surface back on for PETG. Let this be a warning if you ever want to run ASA or ABS on this surface. Yeah, not a good idea. So we'll change the bed. Let's give this guy a quick clean. I shouldn't need to put any more adhesive on this as long as the bed's clean. And then in the firmware here, whoops, wrong way. But I just go in here, oops, info screen, then I got to go back in here and tell it that I'm using the textured sheet. There we go. Okay, so let's pop the SD card out, pop it in here. We got to load the filament now. Load, auto load filament. There we go. This will be interesting in clear filament. See what it does. It's clear PCTG. Might be cool looking, might not be. There's a camera here. We're on new cam. There we go. Coex LLC website. Coex LLC, is that what it is, Jason, for the Essentium? I got it directly off Essentium. So I'm going to have to purge this a fair bit because we have clear filament coming out replacing a black, although it's coming out pretty clean already. It's hot though. Okay. And we'll do one more. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yes. Okay. Filament's done. And we will go print from SD, Revo bracket PCTG. I know there's a firmware update available. You don't have to remind me every time. Here we go. Let's see how this works. Let's bring you guys in a little closer. Sorry for the blurriness. It's going to fix soon. There we go. Let the Prusa do its thing. What do you call a peanut in space? I don't know. What do you call a peanut in space? I'm afraid to ask. A space net? Astro printer? Ah, sorry. And that's perfect. I like the fact that I finally figured out how to program the two sheet styles in here, the two sheets here. I'm going to get a little closer for you guys here if I can. There you go. An astronaut. Oh, pff. Okay, good dad joke. I'm going to have to use that one. With permission, I'm going to use that one on Ethan. And if mom hears it while I do it, I'm going to have some rolled eyes, but that's okay. There we go. Let's have this. We can print this part. Yeah, I think we'll have time on this stream to print the rest of this part. Astronaut. I should have known that. Astronaut. Astronaut. So I do have some cool. I should be able to use this other Revo hot end for something. Anyways, I love these are cool nozzles. That's the first one, first generation one. That's an all metal for you. There is another one I can do. I could do a Fusion 360 rendering of the Revo hot end. That'd be a nice challenge to do too. So, where's this camera looking at? Let's turn that one off. Don't need the power on that camera. There we go. What is Yoda's last name? What is Yoda's last name? Yoda lady who? Yoda lady who? I don't know. It's going to be something dumb, right? Aren't all bad jokes dad jokes? Sparta 3D. Sparta 3D. Let me look that up while I'm doing this. Lay he who. Yoda lay he who. See, I was close, right? I was close. Sparta 3D. Spartan 3D, Sparta 3D. Sparta 3D. Let's have a look at that. .ca. Oh, okay. It's a Canadian company. Shop now. Oh, okay. They even have a mystery box. Look at that. Where are they located? About. Contact us. They don't have an address. Where are they out of? Okay, so far we're printing fine. This says 36 minutes remaining. We'll see. Maybe I can stretch my stream a little bit just to see this part finished. Woot woot, Sparta 3D. They're in Canada, but it doesn't say where. Or at least they have a Canadian .ca webpage. Let's see what their products look like. Filaments, PLA, PETG. $25.99. That's not bad. $25 a roll for PETG is actually really good. Transparent PETG, PETG filament, PETG plus. It's only $1 more than PETG, and they have a lot of colors. Oh wow, do they ever have a lot of colors? Interesting. But fortunately or unfortunately, I may try that. But yeah, I am going to eventually be. I am sponsored by. I'm going to be. We're still working on a few details. Sponsored by a filament company, so we're going to work on that. I got a couple sponsors coming up actually, so working on a few things here to help the channel out. Yep, it's cooled off now. Okay, this has been kind of fun. "24-volt, 40-watt." So this, I'm just looking at this pre-production version of the Revo, and it's 24-volt, 40-watt heater cartridge. The ABS, Sparta ABS. How much was their ABS? ABS, $25 a roll. Wow, ABS Plus. Interesting. I've not tried them before, but they do have, Canada, US, Europe, British, Australia. Oh, they have a lot of different currencies available. Cool. Very cool. Glitter infused ABS. Now that's interesting. $230 to $250 for ABS. That's low temperature. 75 to 95 bed. That's their ABS Plus. What's their regular ABS? Oh, that's the Plus again. What's the regular ABS? Oh, Sparkle ABS filament. Yeah. So it's $1 more for the Sparkle ABS, and the regular ABS is, still low temperature. That's actually surprising. Yeah. I like to try and buy local, and now like the local brands for sure. Oh, this is looking good, this print. Probably get you guys a little closer even yet. Nah, that's as close as I can get right now without moving the actual camera closer, but that gives a pretty good view. Actually, if I light it up a bit too, let's see. There we go. Light it up a bit. You can see even more. But this PCTG print's beautiful. I thought I had a different color though. Sparkle ABS is hot. I haven't tried that. I have to try that. I've never heard of Sparkle ABS, to be honest. Old email says that they're in Markham. Okay, interesting. That's Ontario, Markham, Ontario. Let me see, Essentium. So here's the, let's have a peek at this real quick. Here's the Essentium PCTG. And they have black, natural, and white. So it's the natural that I have, obviously. 1.75 and 2.5. I have 750 kilogram rolls. So they're $40 for 750 grams. There's the white and there's the natural. So it's not bad. You can buy 2.5 kilogram rolls for $125. But it's really, really good filament. What I want to try one day, oh, you guys, I want to try Vision Miner. Especially if I put my water-cooled hot end on. But, like, where is it? Materials and filament. Peak. Look at the peak I could do with a water-cooled hot end, right? But look at the price. No thanks. Look at the price. 500 gram roll of peak at all these different peaks. 375, 345 US for half a kilogram roll of peak. That stuff is expensive. So anyways, no, can't do that. That's expensive. I wonder if they would send a sample, like I don't know, like 100 gram roll of sample. I don't know. Still, if it's $300 for half a kilogram roll, $350 is going to be like what, $100 for a sample. Anyways, just finished a spool of Galaxy Black Sparkle ABS, and you are about to get into a spool of Purple Mist. Very cool. Noticed I'm printing on a textured sheet. I was under the understanding that you should print PETG on a smooth surface. You can give me some advice on printing PETG. I find, okay, when I first got this printer, and I've heard various opinions on this. PETG on a smooth surface, I have heard and I've experienced that it can be difficult to remove. This textured surface that I'm printing on right now, I cannot for the life of me, unless I use nanopolymer adhesive, I cannot get PLA to stick to it. I have to print PLA on the, is that a reflection or is that's a reflection. I have to print PLA on my smooth surface. I can't get it to stick to this. When I first bought this Prusa, and this was a brand new print surface, I printed a test print in PLA and it stuck to it. But that's it. That's the only print I've ever been able to get to stick to this bed. So, and as far as tips on printing PETG, there's really nothing. I was intimidated when I first started because I heard it's such a tricky filament to print. It's really not that hard. I print it with zero, like right now. Well, my part cooling fan's maybe 20%. I think, what did I have that set at? My part cooling fan on this, cooling, where's my cooling? Filament settings, no, it's under print settings. Where's my cooling? Boom, 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 boom. But I believe I have my fan set at something like 20%. But I have also printed, 20%. I've also printed PETG on with zero fan. You don't necessarily need a fan for PETG. Yeah, I mean it'll print on both, but I've always printed on my Prusa on this surface. Most of my printers have a textured surface. Prusa I have a smooth surface for. And I've not had a problem with PETG sticking at all on this. So, but I can't get PLA to print on this particular bed. So that's all. But so on the Prusa, I use this smooth surface on the Prusa for PLA. And of course, I have not printed. I've printed with ASA a little bit. I do have Prusa ASA, and I have printed with it. I don't have an enclosed printer. I do have an enclosed printer. That's a lie. I have the FlashForge Creator 3, which is enclosed. I have run a few things on ASA, the Prusa Mint ASA. I don't have any ABS, or do I? And I've had no problems with it at all. And people tell me I need an enclosure for it, and I've yet to use an enclosure for ASA. Yeah, I have a roll here. I don't even think I've opened this. I bought this a long time ago. Let's see, is it even open? No, it's not even open. It's brand new. But I'll try this. I do have a roll of, oh, sorry. Here, I can focus on here real quick. Come on, mouse, move. I have a roll of low warp ABS. So this is 190 to 230 temperature, 80 to 100 for the bed. And I got that from filaments.ca a long time ago, but I haven't opened it yet. So I have no experience with this particular ABS. And as I say, the ASA I've run in the past, I've not used an enclosure. I'm still kind of normal as far as the fumes go. It hasn't bothered me. Apparently they're kind of like, you don't really smell them until it's too late. But I don't really have a lot of need to run ABS for the most part. I do have to print some parts for a build I may be doing soon. And I think I'm going to consult with Jason because he knows. But I think for the most part, I can print those parts for a 0.1 in PETG. Maybe the hot end in ABS. I don't know. But all the hot end parts I've printed, the rat rig, all the hot end parts is all PETG, and I've had no problems at all. So, yeah. We have another 24 minutes left on this guy, and then we will see how this print turns out, and then we'll call it an evening. So as many of you guys that want to stick around and watch this, that's fine. Ask questions. We're good. This still, is this? Oh, that's just a reflection. It looks like there's filament stuck on that. It's just the way the light's hitting it, I guess. Wow. Anyways, it's been bugging me. You print PETG on a textured sheet and smooth, but you've had PETG rip the PEI off smooth plates. Yes. You don't use glue stick. You print at 80 millimeters a second with about 15 to 20% fan. There we go. Yeah, I've heard that you can rip the PEI off smooth plates, and so I've never had an issue with PETG on a textured plate. So, and again, that's what I've heard too, is, you know, textured plate for PETG, smooth plate for PLA. Now, PEI, or I mean ABS and ASA, the back of this sheet, I ran an ASA print on the back of this sheet, and it ripped the texture right off of it. So I would probably say the lesson in that is print my ASA on a smooth plate. I would probably coat it with something. In my case, I'll coat it with nanopolymer adhesive. But I think in that case, I think I just had the first layer squished too squishy, because I ran two prints. The first one ran great. Second one, which I ran a few days later, for some reason, I think I adjusted my first layer too low, and it ripped the surface right off the back of this one. So yeah, you always use glue. Okay, yeah. There's so many different opinions out there on what sheet to use for what sheets, what texture's better for what. There are so many different opinions on it. I know one guy that just prefers printing on glass, period. Glass and glue stick. I know people that still use blue tape, painter's tape on their beds. There are so many different things, but I just say do what works for you, play with it, do some little test prints. You know, on the rat rig, the bed on the rat rig, which I had pulled off, it is a I have not yet had a print come off of this, but so here is the build plate for the rat rig. Jason has this one as well. This is a textured surface. If I bring it up to this other camera, or even this camera here, I can actually probably focus on this. So that's the surface of the rat rig. It's a textured surface flex plate. Okay. And I've never had anything not stick to this yet. But then again, for large prints, if I'm doing a large area, I will coat this with nanopolymer adhesive just to be sure, especially on this printer, because I heat my bed a little warmer than I normally would because I have a cooler basement down here. But I coat this with nanopolymer, and it's actually been printing. You can almost see the outline of some things I've been printing, but it hasn't been a problem at all. Now, I haven't tried printing on this side. I don't know if I can print on this side. This would be smooth. I imagine I could if I coated it with something. I don't think I'd get anything to stick on this side without putting some sort of an assist on it. Like, I could probably put nanopolymer on this side and get a nice shiny finish to my print. But everything I've done has been on this side so far. And that gives that finish. Oops, as you saw, let me just put this bed back real quick. That is one big bed. Use steel wool to scratch it a little? Possibly, yeah. That's a great plate, isn't it? I like that the texture is not too aggressive, no. But this is, if you look at this model I printed here, there's the texture from that bed right there. So that's the texture that's coming off of that rat rig bed. It's not too bad. And depending, I mean, for this, it works great for these two sides. So I like that texture. So it's pretty good. It's probably it's probably similar to the texture on this Prusa bed. You know, not so bad, but I kind of like it. I think you guys all saw my little, I'm just so proud of this, but all my little cutaway nozzle model with an actual nozzle that screws in and coupler that screws in. There we go. I'm going to finish that hopefully this week. How did all your carabiner prints go? Oh, they're good. I've got a bunch of them. Where did I put them? Right here. I still got to do some more. So yeah, I ran these 32 up on the rat rig. I've kind of linked them together. Here, let me just this camera. I've kind of linked them together in 10s, but they all worked out well. So I ran them all on the rat rig. I got 32 up on the rat rig. The gray part here for the little clip, I got 50 up. And then boom, yeah. So I've got them, this, these, this. Yeah, I put them all together. I got to do some more yet. So far they're going good. I've got a few things to get ready for the Maker Faire. I got those. I've got the shopping cart keys I'm going to do. Pet G with glue stick. Rip the chunk out of your Creality glass plate. See, and I've heard that people have ripped glass out of chunks of glass out of their plates with Pet G. Smooth PEI with Vision Miner. Haven't had any problems. No, Vision Miner has some great stuff, don't they? You totally missed this one. What'd you miss? Bardicus. Oh, you didn't miss a lot, Bardicus. I was just showing off. Beginning of the stream, I talked about my new model I made for the hot end cutaway and my Fusion 360 experience. We'll be talking more about this next week. And then we just ripped apart an Ender 3 V2 because I'm going to put a Revo hot end on the Ender 3 V2 probably next week as well, depending if I get the parts printed. And yeah, not much. And then we're printing the one of the mounts for the Revo for the Ender 3 V2 on my Prusa here. So you have a PEI build plate from Filament, and they're just scared of ruining it. And it's not a cheap bed. No, they're not cheap. No. Is it a smooth one? The smooth one you got? Filament. Key thing with that too is I find first layer is critical. If as I say, I printed on this bed here, ASA on the other side. I had my first layer just a little too squishy, which I think is why, and I let it cool off and everything, and maybe I shouldn't have let it cool off either. Now that I think about it, it might have been better to flex it off while it was warm, but either way, it ripped the surface. It ripped the pebbled surface off of it. You won some Vision Miner stuff on my 1,000 subscriber stream. Oh, good. Awesome. That's right. It is awesome stuff. And I do have, and I kind of owe, where am I here? I kind of owe Vision Miner an apology because I do have Vision Miner. I have nano polymer adhesive here, full bottle, and a full bottle. And then I also have, whoops, stop, in the name of love. Then we have some sample bottles. We have cute little sample bottles. Anyways, these are for a giveaway, eventually on a giveaway. So we have some nanopolymer adhesive here to give away eventually. It will happen in the future. Stay tuned. I need a reason to do a giveaway. Do I need a reason to do a giveaway? Yeah, I do. Texture on one side and smooth on the other. Oh, those are perfect. Those are the good kind of sheets. That way you got the best of both worlds. So I would suggest, just my opinion, and I don't, you can't sue me over it, but I would, use the smooth side for PLA, use the textured side for Pet G. But, and again, just control that first layer. Make sure you're not getting too much squish. According to Vision Miner, if you printing under 300 Celsius, let the part cool first. If you're printing higher temperature, remove the part immediately. Yes, I have read. I've read that actually exact, and I think it's even on the bottle. Let's see. I have a bottle here because I use this all the time. But ensure bed plate is clean. Apply liberal coating. Now, is a liberal coating mean a lot or a little? Anyways, here, hang on. Let's just focus on this for a second here. There we go. Ensure build plate is clean. Apply a liberal coating, allow to dry 1 to 2 minutes, remove while part is hot. Okay, so that, I believe now, it's designed for PEI, PPSU, nylon. Okay, nowhere on there do you see PETG or PLA, but all the ones you see on there are high temperature filaments. Okay, so that's I'm sure what Bardicus is saying there is that if you're running PETG or PLA, let it cool off and then remove the part. But if you're running any of these high temperature materials, as it says it's designed for, you want to remove the part while it's hot. And I think that was my issue with that part I printed on the back of this sheet I'm printing on now, is I let it cool off. It was a high temperature ASA. I think I printed it at 290 or something, whatever the temperature was. And I let it cool off and it ripped the surface right off. So you, for PETG and ABS, you've been letting it cool, no issues. Okay, yeah. And ABS is listed on here, but I'm pretty sure PEI, PEEK, PPSU, nylon, PEC, and I'm sure those are all high temperature materials as far as I know. So yeah, but that's I've had this bottle for a while, and you can see where the fluid level is on it right now. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. And it's lasted me a while. This stuff goes a long way. So I don't know exactly what they're charging for this stuff these days, but it is well worth it. It's really well worth it, in my opinion. It's great stuff. Whereas other people say just use glue stick. I used glue stick once. I think it was on one of these beds. I used glue stick, and I didn't like overdo it. You know, I just boom. And when I pulled the part off, I had a mark on the bottom of my part from glue stick. Now, somebody told me you can wipe that off or something, and I don't remember what they said to wipe it off with, but yeah. So you're printing ABS Plus from Sparta 3D only at 235, though. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, there you go, because that's a low temperature ABS. I got to try that. I've never seen an ABS with that low a print temperature. I'm printing 240 right here with PCTG, so which is, you know, like PETG on steroids. So yeah, but yeah, Chris, you're welcome. That's what I would suggest, though. I'd smooth side I'd stick with PLA, and then the textured side I'd stick with for PETG. And if you go any of the higher like ABS, etc., just as we were saying, I think yeah, come to think of it, on the back of this, I did put nanopolymer adhesive with that part because it had a big part on the bottom. I didn't want it to curl up in the corners, and I let it cool off before I peeled it off, and that's what killed my build plate. So, yeah. Good night, Brendan. Appreciate you hanging out. Thank you so much. We're just about done here anyway. As soon as this print is done, we're going to call it a night for me. But I just wanted to let this print finish so I could show you guys how this looks. This is it's pretty rare that I print PCTG. I've had this for a while. I did a stream on it. It's on my channel in a video a long time ago. I did a stream on it comparing the strength of PCTG to PETG. I don't remember the part, but I remember I could break the PETG part. The PCTG part, I could not break it for the life of me. So makes a huge difference in the strength of your part. So it'd probably be great for a hot end mount. So why not? Why not? Maybe I'll even I'll talk to them and see if I can give some of this stuff away one day. We'll see. But, you know, a company like Ascentium probably doesn't need a guy like me giving their stuff away. So we'll see. Simple Green cleans glue stick off with just a wipe. Okay, Simple Green. Okay, cool. And I don't use glue stick, but if I ever do, the Prusas came with glue sticks. This and the Mini came with a stick of glue. So Cloud Gray and Racing Green. I've got the page bookmarked here. I've got to try that stuff. I can't believe that the price only $25. Is that a full kilogram roll though? 1 kilogram. That is a heck of a price. And that's Canadian dollars. And look at all the reviews. I'm going to try that stuff. That is a hell of a good price. What's their PLA? If that's $25, what's their PLA? $25. It seems like that's a going rate. $25 for PLA. $26.99, $25.99. And then their PETG. What's other? What do they have under other? Oh, cleaning filament. $9 for a piece of cleaning filament. I've never used cleaning filament. They have LDO. Okay, I don't know why I've not seen this site before. Well, they sell all sorts of stuff. They have Sparta 3D. Oh, I wonder. Oh, a light bulb just went off. Able to run Twitch and YouTube on a mobile at the same time. Awesome. I got to check something. A light bulb just went off. Twitter. I'm going to check a message I got on Twitter. Messages. Okay. That's okay. That's almost embarrassing, but mind you, I haven't dealt with them yet. But anyways, I'm going to be getting to know Sparta 3D quite well, actually, pretty soon. So that's interesting that you mentioned them. I knew I heard that name before, but yeah, I'm going to be. You are late, 3D Experiments. We're almost done our stream as soon as this print finishes. This is printing in PCTG from Essentium. Yeah, I'm going to be getting to know Sparta quite well. So, matter of fact, they may even be a sponsor down the road. Anyways, yeah, I knew that. I knew that name rang a bell. Awesome. I definitely have to try their filament now then. I definitely have to. Joe is a good guy. Cool. Good to know. Lots of LDO stuff. Yeah. Jason from LDO is a great guy too. Yeah. Okay. So much on my mind, so much on the go. I hear a name and I go, should that name sound familiar to me? We're almost done here. Oh, now our piece is loose. Look at that. Okay. Well, that just means I got to stop the stream early. Guess I should have put some of that nanopolymer adhesive on the bed, huh? Wow. Okay. Well, we had a little bit of a failure here. I'll reprint it. I'll put some NPA on the bed and print it. But here, let's have a look at the piece. But anyways, so here's what it looks like. Is the light still on? There we go. Can I get that first? Look at that. So it's hard to see the first layer. It's a transparent filament. But it's a smooth first layer. Vision Minor taught me a lesson. Yeah, I know. The point of it is, I'll reprint this. It's a small part, okay? And the idea behind this is that, of course, the Revo, actually, I think this Revo mount will be the same. So this will go onto the Ender 3v2, and the Revo will, because this failed, it's not going to work. But the Revo is going to basically sit up and thread through that. So, but the point I want to make here, the point I want to make on this, a brim would have been good. Yeah, I know, Jason, because it's a small bottom. But nanopolymer adhesive or a brim would be fine. I could print 500 of these up on the rat rig, and that way one of them would work. But here's a good thing. Watch this, and I'm not going to exaggerate. So you can see how small that piece is, okay? How thin it is. And what I do, 50% infill, lay it down on its back. That might work to print it this way, yeah. That would probably have worked fine as well. But now I'm going to try. Okay, so you can see kind of here, maybe on this camera, you can kind of see how thin the piece is right there. Now I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to twist and I'm going to try as hard as I can. I can't break it. This PCTG stuff is extremely strong. Like, I can't. I'm afraid I'll cut my hand if I try too hard. But so let's see. Ooh, that kind of smarts. So let's try this. Let's take a pair of these. Okay, with that, I can break it. But that took a lot. But with my hands, I can't. And then here, No. So this stuff is extremely, extremely strong. Oh. There we go. It broke. It broke. And there will be blood. So, so anyways, my point, I just wanted to show you guys how strong this was. How does it hold up to temps though? Good point. That I'd like to find out. That face. Thanks, Jason. Hope nobody screenshotted that. And wow, that's a, see, I bleed for my streams. There's a nice little slice across the finger there because of that. But anyways, that's fine. But yeah, that super, super, super strong stuff. So I'll reprint this. I'll start this print again when I end my stream and get this printing, or maybe tomorrow or something. I should go get a Band-Aid and wash that cut. But yeah. So there we go. There's a burn and a cut on my stream. And for the 27 people that stuck around, you've got it. Include a fart and maybe you'll get it easier. Now this part, I mean, that was a thin part that I couldn't break. Now this part here, forget trying to break it even. The good question though about the high temps. Let's have a, why not just add some burning to my, oh, where is it? I'm going to put my, whoa. Holy cow. Holy cow. Found a spring in a nut while I was down there. I'm bleeding. Let's see if I can add burning to my fun stream, but let's just see. I'm just curious. It's softening up a bit, but it took a little bit for that to soften up. A little bit to soften that up. How hot does that get? Oh, that gets hot that close. So that's pretty high temperature. That's pretty high temperature. So considering how long it took that to soften, and it's, yeah, I'd say that's got a pretty high I'd say that's got a pretty high melting point. Go on to Essentium's site. They probably have something about it. Actually, Vision Miner did a video on this, a good video, and he did a lot of different tests on this material. That's where I first heard about it. So check on Vision Miner too. I'm putting this away. Okay. Burn, burn, bleed. There we go. It's not a DWIT stream unless something like this happens, but at least it's all safe. The parts of, there's not even any fumes off of that. It's probably deadly fumeless. Anyways, there's that. Gotta love it. Gotta love these Sunday nights. And here I thought this was going to be a boring stream. If it helps, watching this makes me feel better. You hurt yourself the same way all the time. Glad you're not alone. Usually it's just me in the basement screaming in profanities. Yeah. No, you know, this stream over the last year or so has been known. I've cut my head on stream. I have done so many things. Just ask the guys that have been here every week. Oh, man. Rough crowd. I know. DWIT logo is red by accident. Yeah, it started out as a blue logo and it's red by accident. Good one, Jason. Anyways, that's please stop hurting yourself. 3D experiments. I'm just reading these ones earlier. And Milan says, we have blood. Yep. That's okay. Anyways, I've gone a little longer than I had, and it is actually gotta squeeze all the bad out, but it is actually bleeding pretty good. But that's okay. I cut myself at my regular job a lot too. I carry how many people have cut themselves on one of these things? I've done it many times. It's hazards of the job. But with that said, and with the blood flowing, we got to quit. We got 8:30 at night here, and we need to get some rest so I can freshly cut myself next week. So everybody that's still watching, thank you so much. There's 22 of you. We have 19 on YouTube and 3 on Twitch. I may just do YouTube from now on my Sunday night streams because that's kind of what this started out as. So I will have more of this hot end design. Thanks, Duff. I have more of this hot end design done next week. I'm going to do some tweaks and print some parts for it. Hopefully get that done. That stings. Oh, I'll throw some peroxide on that. Yes, hit the like button, everybody. How many likes do we have? I got to see. Let's see. We have 30 likes. Oh, cool. There's only 17 watching now, so that's okay. That's what we'll get. So you didn't expect the palm burn. Neither did I. I didn't think it would be that hot, that close. But anyways, that's okay. Somebody had to do it, right? And I'm one of those guys too that, turn the propane on the barbecue, put the lid down for a bit, and then poof. No, just kidding. But I used to do the old fuel with when you squirt it on the charcoal and you throw the match in and poof. I've actually singed my mustache years ago. So, but it's not going to surprise anybody to hear that. So there we go. Okay, guys, listen, that's it for now. We'll move on to bigger and better things next week. We'll just continue this. Hit the like button for more of the accidents. There you go. We're going to call it a stream. We're going to call it a wonderful night. And thank you, everybody that stuck around this far. I appreciate it. And we will catch all you guys later. Bye for now. Have a great week, and we'll catch you guys next Sunday. Bye, guys.
Super chat.
I do that every day. Wrong button. This one. Bye. For sure.